Hello.
Hi there.
I'm Christine.
I'm Jamie.
We are here for a bonus episode.
Bonus.
I had so much to say about reads that are outside of the ones that we're doing on this podcast. So I said to Jamie, let's do some little like side episodes where we get to actually talk about those reads that we're not covering on the podcast and do some like little short spoiler-free reviews.
Yeah, you've read a lot too.
I have, and we'll let you all know.
Mm-hmm.
Like a yes, no, maybe kind of game.
Yeah.
Yes, we recommend this book. Maybe we recommend this book, or no, we don't recommend this book.
You know what? Follow us on Goodreads. I need more Goodreads friends.
Yeah, I don't have many.
No. But I get excited to see what the ones that I do have are reading.
Yeah, what's everyone reading?
I'm always curious.
Yeah.
Christine always has good updates. She reads a lot more than I do.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah, you do. You do. I like the commentary.
Mm-hmm. Are you up to date with your reading goals?
I'm actually like 5 ahead right now.
Oh, look at you.
I know. I was pretty excited, but it's because I have taken on audiobooks, finally.
Yeah, you have been doing audio.
Yeah. Because I was just like, there's just too many books I need to read, and I don't have the time to read them, but I have to edit a lot, and I'm just sitting on a computer, which is normally when I listen to my armchair expert. But so I've been splitting that time up. And now also splitting up my music time when I drive.
Nice.
Yeah. So finally doing the audio, which has been interesting.
Why?
Because like at first I had done the Danielle Jensen. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's her? Oh, the A Cursed and Carved Bone, but it's the Saga of the Unfated, which I had done before.
What's the first book called again?
It's a great question. It is. It's a really pretty book. Fate Inked in Blood.
A Fate Inked in Blood. Yeah.
So I pretty much only read like nonfiction audio, so not listened to.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved because they had like the Norwegian type accents, and then I was finally like, okay, I need to start just like also doing audiobooks. And so the first one I did was the Anathema by Keri Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, they're just talking in plain old English. Not even like there's not even like a British accent.
Yeah, there's just a me accent.
That's
boring.
I really did not like it at first at all. So I finally kind of have gotten used to it, but I was really, upset because I realized I'm like a lot of the time when I'm reading in my mind, they have like British accents but I'm doing it.
Good
I'm
for
getting
you.
Way more books in, which is nice.
Trying to be an audiobook person.
Yeah. So good on you for being on that for so long.
Audiobooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go through phases for sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm in an audiobook phase. I've listened to a bunch lately. I've read a lot more in the last few months than I usually do, and that's usually because of audiobooks for sure. Okay. I do want to start with a recent read.
Okay.
Reign of Shadows and Endings by Melissa K. Roehrich.
Right, I've seen that you were doing that.
So I read Melissa's Lady of Darkness series. Mm-hmm. If you are a listener of us, you know that I've talked about it before.
Yes.
And I am obsessed with it.
Mm-hmm.
To the point that I am the person reading the bonus chapters and the novellas.
Yeah.
I will eat up whatever she gives me. Obsessed. Now, Reign of Shadows and Endings is in the same world.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's exciting.
So I was like, oh, this is like, I loved her series. I'm going into it. I assume I'm going to love this. And then I'm like, wait, this seems familiar. Like the way she's just like describing the world and how it's structured and all that. And I was like, oh, okay. She's putting it in the same world.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like not different planets, but like different realms.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And this one's more modern. Whereas Lady of Darkness is like, they don't have cell phones. They don't have computers. You know?
I mean, that's kind of what like...
Like Crescent City versus Akatar. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I'm having a hard time with it. I'm now on the second book.
Yes, I saw that.
I flew through the first book because I love her writing, but I have a major issue with it.
With her writing or the book? Like
there's like a plot point, like the MMC
mm-hmm.
is the worst.
Oh, is this what you were referencing earlier?
Yeah, so
No.
it's like and their relationship. So it's hard to read, but I think anyone coming into this book will have a really hard time trusting that it's going to get better. And even as someone who has read Lady of Darkness and is a fan of her, I'm still like, how is she going to make this better?
Oh, is it getting
But
better?
knowing her writing, I'm like, this is intentional.
Okay.
She's making it like this on purpose. She's not a dodo writing the book being like, he's great.
Yeah.
I'm writing him great. Why don't you like him? No, that's not what she's doing. I understand that. But I think a lot of like negative feedback from that is like, he's the worst. It's like, she's like, yeah, like and her feedback is like, read the trigger warnings. Yeah, this is like a story of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So this was my thought reading it. And then at the very end of the book, she has a note and she says, if you've read the Darkness series, you know mental health is so important to me. My characters aren't perfect, and while they may be descended from magical beings, their reactions to trauma are so incredibly human. Everyone reacts to trauma differently. Grief and trauma, processing and healing is a journey unique to each and every one of us. These characters are no exception. So while I'm sure you are wondering how can you possibly forgive some actions or move on from particular motivations, as always trust the process. I promise there are stars to fight for, even if they look very different from the stars of the past.
Oh, that's a cute quote.
Well, and it's exactly what my experience was. It was what I was thinking while reading the book, and then I read that. I was like, yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole time. How could you possibly come back from this, like such all the stuff that happened in this book?
Yeah.
How are you going to
Well, I'm now intrigued just because of this.
Yeah.
So this is... Now I'm like, do I read the Lady of Darkness series first?
You have to... Okay, this was my other point. Read the Lady of Darkness series first, because there's spoilers. For the Lady of Darkness series in this book. In this book, but more so what I'm reading right now in the second book.
Okay.
You have to read the first book, or else you're going to be spoiled.
Okay. Shit.
Which I didn't realize.
I have so much to read. So much of stuff that you have read that I've wanted to read.
But yeah, read the trigger warning, because there's like a lot of like abusive relationship dynamic stuff in this.
Okay.
Yeah. And as someone who like hasn't been in that extreme dynamic, it was hard for me to read.
Or just be ready to be just upset.
You will be.
That's what happens. And you're just like, oh, trigger warnings are real.
But the great things about her book, because the Lady of Darkness series, that's not the dynamic.
Yeah.
But even by the end of that series, I hated the MMC and the FMC. I'm like, you guys need to go in the garbage can. But Melissa is so good at like building up the entire world and like the different plot, there's so many different plot points and different characters. There's so many characters to love that you don't, even if like they get annoying, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I feel the same with this.
Huh. Well, you really sold it.
Thank you. I'm the Melissa K. Roehrich fan club.
Yeah, no kidding. To be fair, it was between that one and then the Red Rising series.
Yeah.
That you had me kind of going, like I was like, which
are you going to talk about Red Rising right now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Everyone, Jamie started Red Rising.
Finally did it.
I don't know if you've listened to this podcast before, but I've talked about it a few times.
First book, 5 stars, 6 stars. So good. I absolutely loved that first book.
Yes. I was about to say a spoiler. I forgot we were recording this. I was about to ask you, how did you like this scene? But I can't ask you that because we don't want to spoil it.
Can use it. I loved that first book. Big fan. Second book, still liked it. Like it's a process.
Yeah.
Where some parts I'm like, oh, okay, it's kind of just like, let's move it along. And then it gets like really, it's a very like up and down
I told you, it's a roller coaster.
It is. It's a very roller coaster where sometimes I can kind of put it down and I'm fine.
Yep.
And then it gets to certain points where I'm like, oh my god, I can't stop reading. Like, I need to know what happens. I am on the third book. I, again, feel the same way.
Mm-hmm. As you will.
Yes, because then when it, like, gets really good, like, it's so good. And you're just like, oh my god. But then there's some points where I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, let's... I do very much enjoy, like, the relationship dynamics and everything. And I am curious to see. So I'm halfway down the third one. And, like, I want to finish. But I'm also... You kind of made me terrified. At the same time, I've been terrified through all these books, and even like, and I'm just like, everybody's gonna die,
and somebody's gonna die.
Yeah. Ever since I started reading it, that's my fear the entire time. I'm like, who is gonna die? Who is gonna betray them because of stuff you've said and people, if you like, even other things.
I barely told you nothing.
I know, but I'm just like, you're like, it's such a roller coaster, and it's about. So I'm just like, oh, so like everyone, like I don't trust anybody. Everyone dies.
Not everyone dies, but you know.
I know, but people have died, and it's been
will.
very emotional,
Yes.
So it's not wrong. But you're like, I don't know, but there's so many like turns. But it was, I feel like the first one, I was like, I do not trust anybody. Everybody is lying.
Everybody's lying.
I was so paranoid in the first one. I'm like, nope, yeah, and it kind of is like there's like betrayal. It's very dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
So dramatic, but it's a very just that first book though. Like that's probably one of like the best.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so good. Like I want them to make a movie out of it. But I also never want them to make movies out of things because it ruins it, but
well, book 6 is the best one, so just keep going.
I know. But it's such like a cool I always as like all these books like they reflect so much about like society and world and like everything.
Totally.
But it's just really kind of I like how they made the
different colors.
Yeah, like the different colors and like what each color represents and what they
created a like true real hierarchy.
Yes.
Very distinct hierarchy.
Yeah. And it's very interesting.
For those of you who haven't read it, there's like there's different colors, right?
Yes.
Like our main character, Darrow, is a red.
Yeah.
And he lives on Mars. And so we open with him as a red, right?
Which is also, I've never been like a sci-fi person.
It's very sci-fi.
And it is really sci-fi, but I think also it's very fantasy at the same time.
Yep.
So that's also been like, yeah, like interesting. Right, there's like spaceships and stuff.
Mm-hmm. They're in space. Yeah.
It's very, very well done.
Mm-hmm.
Very, yeah. I do recommend, obviously.
So it's a yes.
Yes, it's a yes.
Okay.
Yes,
oh, I didn't even say mine when I was talking about
right.
Reign of Shadows and Endings. Mine's a maybe. Maybe.
Okay.
Read the trigger warnings. if it's a yes, then keep going. Okay. My next one is Wild Love by Elsie Silver.
Oh, I forgot you read that.
Right?
That's been a big, I feel like, oh my god. Such like a book talk bookstore. Like, it's just one of those books that you see.
It's a popular romance book.
Yeah, it's just a book you see everywhere.
So, it's set in Canada, in Calgary.
Oh.
Which is very strange.
I will be going to Calgary in 1 month.
You will
Fun
be.
fact. Maybe this will happen for me.
The one thing that made this book turned the tides for me in this book
was that it was in Calgary.
Partially, was the sex scenes.
Oh,
you know, I don't know if you had this where you just like read a sex scene and you're like, no,
yeah,
this is a no for me. And so I was thinking, I was like, for anyone listening, if there's anyone listening that lives in Calgary, I've never been there. But we do live in Canada. And you've read Elsie Silver. Like, is this how they do it in Calgary?
Oh, I'm so curious now.
It's not anything crazy. It's more just like a preference thing. There's a lot of like dirty talk, and there's like, you know, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go read it. It's very much like things that other people would like, right? I'm not like, I don't want to. I mean, obviously a lot of people like this book. I'm not going to paint it like this. There's anything like, obviously a lot of people like it. Just for me, I read it and I was like, and I'm out. And I'm gone. The banter in this book is wonderful.
Oh, that's good.
the main characters, have this like really great relationship and banter. So I love that dynamic. It was just like the sex scenes that like took a turn for me where I started to lose interest. And then there was like the main character, the guy was so great that there did try to be like some conflict, and I just didn't believe it because he was too great.
No.
And so I just like, oh, okay. It was one of those books where you're like, I could see how this is their 5 stars.
Yeah.
This wasn't for me.
Okay.
So for me, it's a no.
Okay.
And I'm also not a big pure romance person.
Yeah, which we've talked about for both of us.
It's hard for me to just do a
very
pure romance.
Hard. Yeah, same.
It has to take something really, really big for me to love just a purely romance. And one of those things is zoos.
I need a zoo.
I needed to take place in a zoo.
As I was saying to Christine, I need a zoo. No, I was getting my spray tan on and talking to the spray tan girl after that spray tans me. And she had said, I can't remember which book, but it was just like a romance. And I even said to her, I was like, no, I'm like, I need some like
else.
weirder fantasy. And then she had said it's Nevessa Allen, the stalker one. And I said, yes, like I can do like that. Like I said, Butcher and Blackbird. She's like, oh, I've heard that they're similar. I'm like, yeah, they're like serial killers. That I can do.
Because there's a twist.
Yeah. I'm like, I need that or like fantasy. I'm like, when it's just romance, it's really hard for me to be like, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do my Keri Lake, which is kind of like, I'm almost going to talk about both of them a little bit.
What are they called?
So it's Anathema, I believe. And this is like her The Eating Woods.
Is that what the series is called?
Yeah, the series is The Eating Woods, but the one book is called Anathema, which I did on audio. And that's where this was the first one where I was like, oh, they're not British. And then after that, I did read Nocticadia.
Yeah.
Or audio. So
Is that the same series?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're different. They're total. Nocticadia is a standalone.
Yeah.
She does very like gothic, weird, gross. Not gross, but like, well, it is. It's like very like horror-esque almost. I do really enjoy her like writing and like description, and they're dark. Like the Anathema, she's in this one realm, and then the MMC's like in another, but she's like being sold by her aunt, where she has to marry this guy. It's just like how the world works or whatever.
Duh.
I don't know, everything's just like dark, and there's like diseases, and I'm trying to think of a better way to describe it. But it's just very like, there's just like sicknesses and diseases, and like there's witchcraft and
diseases?
I don't know, like just doing a horrible job at describing it. But it's just like a gothic vibe.
Okay, is it romance?
But yes, it's romance.
Okay, is there sexual stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But she's very much like...
Is there a plot?
Yeah, there is. And I'm trying to remember it now. Spellbinding gothic dark fantasy.
There you go.
That's a really good way to describe it, actually. So it's like she's mortal, ends up getting dragged into this other not mortal world and finding out all these things, and there's like spiders and gross. I don't know, it's very like horror-esque, which I enjoy.
What's the other one?
Nocticadia is a like dark academic. Also still like, because then there's like this disease that like kills her mother with like worms. And she's kind of trying to like find that out, which I loved. So I love that like weird part of her writing in her books. And especially Nocticadia, I did like trying to kind of find out what's going on with like that whole like plot stuff. Same thing with the Anathema one. Didn't like it as much. So when I was reading that one, it's very much like, so she's a virgin. The MMC is like older, a little bit older, more experienced. They finally have some sort of sexual stuff that happens.
Okay, don't spoil us though.
Well, you know that's gonna happen. Like it's like that they're the characters that they're gonna have a sexual interaction at some point.
Okay.
Right? And it was just too like virgin-esque for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was just one part where like he was like saying like, oh, and then she's like, and I had never like done this. But I was like, and this makes me feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
You know, like, because I don't want to shock you. I am not a virgin. I know.
Whore.
I know, I'm so sorry. So I don't know if I'm just like so far away from like that age and that
No.
and I'm just like,
I think that dynamic would creep a lot of people out.
I'm just like, I'm like, okay. So I really did enjoy it.
It's the same as what I just said with the Elsie Silver thing. There's something within like what they're doing sexually that's just like, you're just like, no.
Yeah, I was just like, no, this isn't, I can't. So I was like, okay.
It might be me. It might be you.
Where I feel like some people thought they like the like age gap thing, or they like the certain.
Yeah.
It's fine. So then I got into the Nocticadia one. You know what? I'm totally down for like the student professor thing. I get it. That's hot. And you know what? She was 20. So they didn't put her in teens. So I was like, that's great.
Hope so.
Well, because you could like push it where some people do. So I was like, okay, she's still. But she was like, oh, like I had sex like one time. So it still kind of got that virgin-ish thing where he was like older. It wasn't as bad. So I found out that I'm not really into like the whole that I can't.
Good to know.
Yeah, because there is a lot of things where people like they want that kind of stuff, like virgin trope or like the innocence. Yeah. It bugs me.
Okay, so is it a yes, no, or maybe?
Nocticadia, yes. It is. I did actually very much enjoy it. That was the only part where I'm like, nah. Like I didn't care for the age gap.
And
the virginish stuff where the like her immaturity.
What is it called?
Huh? Oh, Anathema? I can't. Yeah, Anathema. That's a maybe.
Okay, let's talk about A Bone in His Teeth by Kellan Graves.
Ooh, I'm excited to hear about this.
Yeah, I gave this one 5 stars, so this is an obvious yes for me. Mm-hmm. I don't remember where I learned of this book. It's not a very popular book.
Yeah.
There is a trans main character. That's usually why those books are not popular. And so I underestimated the book because of its lack of popularity, and I read it and I was like, this is fantastic. So, go read it.
And is it free on Kindle, I believe so?
It's not.
No.
No, I bought it for my Kindle.
Okay.
You know, I don't know, like $11 or something. Yeah. But it was worth it. And it was very like by the seaside. You can smell the you know, like the salt. It was like very vibey. That reminded me like of Rachel Gillig-ish, where it's like you're immersed in the environment and part of like the environment is like a character in itself. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yes. Which is
and that's great. What kept me going, because I think the beginning of the book, you're like, I'm not given enough.
Yeah.
I'm not given enough about the main character or this world. But because it was so vibey, I kept going, and then I got like so much more. And it's very like it's like a mystery.
That's always great.
It's a mystery. There's murder, there's violence, there's sex, there's relationships, there's drama, like it's, you know, there's mermaids, merman. Go check that out.
I did put that on my list because you really sold that.
Thank you.
I'm not really doing great at selling books.
There's one part that I really want to tell you about, but I'm stopping myself to not spoil you.
Oh, that's good. Will it really spoil it?
It's not like a plot spoiler, but it's like just one part. Then just read it. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So I read the second part, A Curse Carved in Bone.
Okay.
The first one was A Fadington Blood.
Yep. By Danielle Jensen.
Yes, Danielle L. Jensen. I enjoyed these a lot because of the audio, I think. Because I loved listening to these actors and their accents. And I just think that made the world that much more real. I liked the second book more than the first book.
Oh.
Because I wasn't even 100% on the first book. But I did really just enjoy the second book. There was some stuff I didn't care for. But I liked how it came together. The stuff that happened. There was at one point where I was actually shocked. Where I was like, oh, I really didn't see this coming. This is pretty cool. It's a maybe. I also am really into I like the Greek mythology and like references to that, or it's Norse mythology, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I find it interesting, and so there's lots of that with like the gods.
Okay.
So I feel like it is kind of, you have to be into certain things and like certain things. But I liked it a lot more than the first book. If you're gonna do it, do the audio.
Yeah, because I read it,
Yeah.
the physical, and not my favorite.
No, I feel like you need that accent to like bring you into that world.
What are we going to talk about? Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. So, I was thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
I have read so many, like, fantasy lately that are, like, bro-y, like, for the boys.
Yeah.
That have, like, boy fan bases.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, am I turning into a fantasy bro?
Oh.
Because I'm like, I read Dungeon Crawler Carl, the Red Rising.
Yeah.
I've been reading like The Martian, like Andy Weir books,
Mm.
his sci-fi books. What else? The Will of Many by James Islington. Like I'm just like reading all these male authors, and like I was like, this is very off for me. The
Yeah,
last few
'cause
years, I've strictly read women.
yeah,
Even when I went and ventured off into like my murder mysteries that I love,
they were
I'm
women.
usually reading women,
Yeah.
women authors.
Oh.
So anyway, this is one of my broy picks. I listened to this on audio, and it's kind of like an apocalyptic.
I had literally looked at it 2 days before you posted it that you were reading
Really,
it, and I was like, this looks really stupid, but I kind of want to
it's
listen to
so
it.
stupid,
Yeah.
but that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
It's apocalyptic, and it's kind of like this like video game, and they're like forced into this like battle of survival.
Which I love because one of my favorite movies is Ready Player One.
And I've never seen that, but it sounds like maybe there's similarities.
I think, yeah. I think that's what I saw someone write, which was what drew me to even look at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very fun. I listened to it on audio, but it is on Kindle Unlimited if anyone
Oh,
has
okay.
that. But I loved the audio so much, the first one, that I waited till my Audible credits renewed. And so now,
Mm,
just yesterday, I'm now starting the second book.
I saw that.
So this is a yes for me.
Oh, good. Oh, so I don't think I talked about these, but the Crimson Moth series I did,
Yeah.
which obviously the first one came out a while ago, but the second one came out earlier this year. And it is a YA series about.
At your phone? Talking to you?
So it's about witches and then kind of them being taken down, coming back up, but there's like a love story in it. I really, really enjoyed it. They're not super long books. I don't know. It was just like a very like easy read where it like kept your attention constantly. Probably my favorite book covers also. I don't know, I just like love them, and I love the little like cute love story. And it also just made me realize how I'm like I do like going to like YA stuff sometimes. I feel like it's more like tame and simple
Mm-hmm.
almost. Read it. Highly recommend. Love it.
Yeah, why is it hit and miss for me? There was a moment where I was like, I don't think I'm a YA fantasy person.
No, but then I went to get our book club book and it was in the YA section.
Which one?
The forest one. Let the Forest In?
Let the Forest In?
Yeah. And I didn't realize how many books were in YA that we have read. And I was like, oh, I guess that would kind of be YA. I guess.
Well, I was going to say, I say that to myself, and then I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, but what about this? What about this? And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. Well,
Yeah, there was tons of books
Shut
over
up,
there.
Christine.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even think that's YA, but I guess, yeah, it's YA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're good to go into sometimes.
Okay. The Sword of Kaigen by Emma
Oh,
Wang.
yes.
Wang, sorry. Sword of Kaigen by Emma Wang. Because we covered Blood Over Brighthaven on this podcast. And I had said that I like ML's writing. Like, I was definitely, like, sucked in the beginning of that book. And the ideas that she had were really great. And so, The Sword of Kaigen was another popular book. that
Yeah,
she
and
wrote. And so I was
people
like,
said
okay,
that-
maybe I'll give this one a chance.
Yeah. And I had seen that people liked it way more than Blood Over Brighthaven
Okay, there you go.
for some. Yeah.
I've seen that too.
Yeah.
I liked it less.
Yep.
I was like, there were at the beginning of this book, I was like, and this was similar to Blood Over Brighthaven, like, she sets it up so great, and you're like, this is gonna be something so cool, and, and then it just turns into something else, and you're like, how did we get here? What are we doing? And this isn't a reference to Blood Over Brighthaven, that's a different experience. I'm just talking about, sort of Kaigen. And I'm like, one of my issues with it, when there's traumatic scenes and like emotionally difficult scenes to read, I need the plot to be strong. Mm-hmm. I need my connection to the characters to be strong to give me a reason to witness this. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to look at like whatever the traumatic, emotionally difficult things are for no good ass reason. And for me, I was like, what? No.
I wish I knew what you were referring to.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't
yeah.
What is this? What are we doing? And I think my review was like, I feel like I'm like wandering around in the woods. Like, where am I going, ML? Where am I going? What's the point of this book? Seriously, I got to the end and I was like, I still don't know the point of the book.
Oh.
What is this? What are we doing?
Oh my god, I need to read it.
Do it.
I
dare you.
Yeah.
You'll be excited and disappointed.
Yeah, I've seen such mixed reviews.
And I'm sorry to anyone that loves this book. Yeah. I'm okay with you liking this book. This is purely my experience.
Christine will fight you if you like this book.
I genuinely, you can disagree with me. That's perfectly fine. Go read it. Go take a chance on it. It's just like, I didn't get it.
Okay. So it's a yes for you then.
It's a no.
Do you want to do another book? Because I feel like you.
I have more, Jamie. Mm-hmm. This one's a short one. The Will of Many by James Islington. That has been a really popular book this year that I've seen everywhere. I feel like the cover of the book is wrong.
I was like, is it a fantasy book?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the cover made me think it was
book.
Like more serious.
Yeah.
It is like a lot more like YA, like young people in a school.
Oh.
Yeah, it was much more light than I thought it was based on the cover.
Oh. Yeah.
So it was a good read. I'm going to read the second one when it comes out. I think there's like intriguing things about it. Mm-hmm. I wasn't like obsessed with it. I wasn't like totally invested in the characters or anything.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's like a really nice like it's not a truly like heavy read, and there's like interesting parts of it like the magic system, and there's like a cliffhanger, and it's
totally from the cover would not have gotten magic from that at all.
I'm even thinking like, what's the magic? What is it? I can't remember. Don't ask me questions.
You were right though. How you are describing it is not how I would have taken it at all.
Yeah, it's the wrong cover. Yeah. They shouldn't have had that cover. Okay. Do you have one?
I mean, I'm just gonna back up and say, which I might have probably mentioned. I read the last one in like the Scythe and Sparrow. I think I've talked about that though. So it's the Ruinous Love trilogy. First one's Butcher and the Blackbird. So it was the third one. Each one is like a different brother, and it's like serial killers. I'm just gonna say yes because the whole series I just love. I love serial killers, fake ones. I love fake serial killers who have love stories.
Yeah. Love Dexter.
Yes. And there's just the like banter is always so good. The quirks of the characters, especially like the female in this one. They're just so fun and I love them. And I highly, highly recommend to like just read the whole series. And it's a Canadian author, which makes me even happier. But just, it's like the perfect length and nothing's like over or underwritten, but you're still able to like understand the dynamic And the three of the books come together so well in understanding all the characters, and yeah, love them.
I haven't read them.
Yeah, you need to. They're fun. They're so fun. And there's always like a weird sex part at the end of each book. That's just like super random, which is my favorite because you're just like, what?
You're like, all right.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought about it, but you're making it sound really fun. So I recommend it just for the surprise ending.
Okay. Yeah, I have to read those one day.
Yes, so good.
Yeah.
And they're like quick reads. Really. They're not long.
Oh, that warms my heart. A quick read.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. My last book that I finished that I want to talk about is Draco Malfoy and Hermione fanfics. I'm grouping them all together here. I've talked about Manacled on this podcast before. I think maybe in our extra episodes or one before. I can't. My memory is great. Manacled, I was like obsessed with. But that one needs trigger warnings. It has trigger warnings. I mean, read the trigger warnings. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Manacled. And then the other one that I read was...
I love the cover for that one. The other one you read.
Manacled?
No.
Oh, the other one. Okay, I'll just say Manacled. Sunlin Yu releases Alchemized in September. Oh. So she has a book deal.
So that's like her first release.
Her first book that has anything to do with, obviously, because you can't publish from someone else's characters. And similarly, the author of Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love. The author is Bridget Knightley, so her book actually comes out in July. So she also has a book deal and is writing her own book.
Oh.
Or I'm assuming she has a book deal. But yeah, her book is being released in July. That has nothing to do with it. But I guess I'm just referencing like when these fanfics get so popular, and they're like people are actually benefiting from it. Like
which
they're
is
actually
amazing.
Getting to go write their own stuff.
Yeah.
And they deserve it because the Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love, I love that one the most.
Oh.
Of what I've read so far of the Dramione fanfics.
Which I did not realize how many
there
was.
What?
I did not realize like the extent of how...
Oh, there's so many. I have like 10 waiting for me on my Kindle.
Yeah, like that's insane.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, just like search it on Instagram, TikTok, and you go on AO3, and there's lots of fanfic writings and stuff. So I got recommendations from social media, and then I went and downloaded them, got them onto my Kindle, and I have them waiting for me, and they're kind of, I think they're going to be like my palate cleansers.
Oh, that's fun.
That one I like deeply recommend, Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love, because it was like, it was lighter.
Okay.
It was just like,
would you say read that before or after Manacled?
Oh, after. Because it's like, read the dark, horrible parts.
Yeah.
Even though it's like great. It's a great story.
Mm-hmm.
And then lighten it up if you're like, oh my god, now I'm in love with Draco and Hermione. Well, then you're like, I need more. And then you like read this like lighter story. Like it's big, long, more like romance. And you're like, oh, okay, that soothed my soul. So much better. I needed that. Right?
Okay, so
it's wonderful. Maybe we'll just end it there. There's lots that I could talk about, but
you have lots.
Obviously, that's a yes for me.
Yeah. Was there any that you just want to say like complete no on?
Oh yeah, I can say no's. I have my
just give us
I have a
one
few
or two
GNFs.
Oh, there we go.
The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros.
Oh, you didn't finish it.
I had to exit.
Oh.
That, like we said earlier in this, I'm not a big strictly romance person, and this was like war related. It's kind of like flashbacks to the war, and like honestly that type of genre or trope is just not for me.
Yeah.
And so I just lost interest.
Yep.
The other one, A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. So this was like a Persephone and Hades.
Oh, I have been looking forward to reading that.
Well, don't, Jamie.
Okay.
This was less of a this was almost like a romance, kind of like what I expect to be like a smutty book.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like plopped the Hades and Persephone stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
So like if you're someone who's into that, it's like it's not really that story if you're looking for. But I had to drop that because the female main character was so stupid. Then I'm like, I don't trust anything you say or your thought process.
See, I really like your honesty because I feel like I like read stuff like that and I'm just like, I'm just going to keep going even though you're pissing me off and you're acting like an idiot.
It didn't, and who knows, maybe she gets smart, but like it did not take a turn and just like, this is nonsense. And then the last one, Tale of the Heart Queen by Nisha J. Tuli.
Mm-hmm.
I DNF'd the fourth book in this series at 60%.
How? You can't just, you don't, the fourth book?
The first book in this series,
Is it the
Trial of the Sun Queen?
Oh!
That was a fantastic book.
Yeah. I've heard great things about it.
Great book.
Yep.
The second one, so I gave that one like a 4, right?
Yeah.
It was great. Recommend it. The second book, I think it was like a 3. I was like, oh, okay. And then I liked it. Okay. And then the third book, it was like a 2.5. I'm like, it's dragging. It's dragging along. I wanted her to condense it because there's so much great stuff in her story.
Yeah.
And then I got to the fourth book and I waited months and months to get to the fourth book and I was like, okay, I'm ready to give it another chance because I was so disappointed in the third.
Yeah.
And it started off fantastic. And I was like so excited. I was like, oh my God, no, this is back to like how I felt in the first one.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of tapered off again. And then I was like, oh, I just feel like I know just what is going to happen.
So you just stopped at 60%?
I felt like I was forcing myself. And so then I was like, what are we doing here? Reading is supposed to be... I had to cut myself off because I'm like, yeah, I could force myself to read this, but I'm genuinely not having a great time. Will I pick this up at a later date and finish it? Maybe. Just because I feel so awful.
Good for you. It would just drive me nuts not knowing.
But we know.
But you might not know.
But we know.
But you might not.
But so far the evidence has shown that I knew.
No, I can't.
I predicted. Yeah, we know everything. We're fine. We're fine.
Just congratulations that you're able to do that. I will torture myself and I will
That
finish
is
it
why I ended it, because I knew, though.
Yeah, I need to know. Good for you. Yeah, that sounds awful.
Oh, okay. We're currently covering the War of Lost Hearts series.
Oh, yeah. And our book club pick for August
is
Let the Forest In.
It
is Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And The War of Lost Hearts is by Carissa Broadbent.
Yes, it is.
So we'll be back with more reviews at some point.
Updates. I will hopefully get to book 6 of Red Rising.
Ooh. That'll be a while.
Yeah. Yeah, well. I will probably take a break after the third one. Because I want to read Rachel Gillig's new book really badly.
Okay. If you're not already following us on social media, we're on TikTok and we're on Instagram. We are Books and Booze Podcast. We post stuff there, so...
We're also on Goodreads if you want to be our friends.
And we're on Goodreads. You can find the link in our bio on Instagram for that. Wherever you're listening to us, please follow us. If you can, give us 5 stars, give us a comment. It's incredibly helpful, and we appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Toodaloo.